Attention passionate Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news now, Seahawks fans. You know how this offseason has already been buzzing with rumors, speculations, and the kind of moves that could really set up the team for a deep playoff run. But this latest development, if it comes to fruition, could be a game changer. Rumor has it that Seattle is making a serious push to bolster their defensive front, specifically looking at adding Christian Wilkins from the Las Vegas Raiders. That's right, Wilkins, a dominant interior defensive lineman, could soon be wearing the Seahawks colors, and let me tell you, this would be a move that sends shockwaves through the NFC West and beyond. Speculation is swirling that the Raiders, currently in a bit of a rebuild mode after a tough season, might be looking to move Wilkins to free up cap space and acquire some valuable draft capital. According to insiders like Diana Rossini, the Raiders are considering trading Wilkins, a player who's still in his prime at 29 years old, for a couple of picks, specifically a second-round pick in 2026 and a fourth-rounder. The Raiders, sitting with a cap hit over $13 million next year, are likely trying to salvage some financial flexibility after a disappointing campaign. They're also looking to focus on their quarterback draft picks, especially after Minshew's struggles, throwing 17 interceptions and showing inconsistency. Moving Wilkins, a player who can anchor a defensive line, makes sense for them, especially if they're not contenders this season with their current roster. Meanwhile, the Seahawks, with about $22 million in cap space, are perfectly positioned to absorb Wilkins' contract. They've been quietly building a solid defense, and adding a player of Wilkins' caliber could be the piece that pushes them into elite territory. Wilkins is not just any interior lineman, he's a game changer. Last season, he recorded 8 sacks, 14 tackles for loss, and forced 3 fumbles. His PFF grade was an impressive 89-2, placing him among the top 6 defensive tackles in the league. He's a run-stopper like a modern-day version of Hayward in his prime, capable of disrupting both the run and pass game. His ability to contain the ground game would be a massive boost for the Seahawks' defense, which has already shown signs of improvement this season. What makes Wilkins even more enticing is his ability to command double teams, freeing up other players to make plays. His double team rate is around 28%, which is quite high and shows how much attention offenses pay to him. When he's on the field, opponents' rushing yards per game drop significantly, from around 105 yards to an estimated 80 yards, which is a 21% improvement in run defense efficiency. That's the kind of impact that can turn a good defense into a top 10 unit, especially when paired with other emerging talents like Peely, who racked up 5 sacks last season and earned a PFF grade of 84. One Seahawks fans, you know how vital a dominant defensive line is for a team that wants to contend again. The defense has been turning into a wall, especially in the second half of this season, reminiscent of the 2020 Bucs, who turned their defense into a postseason fortress. The addition of Wilkins adds a new dimension, more interior pressure, more disruption, and more opportunities for Seattle's secondary to make plays. Imagine Wilkins collapsing the pocket from the inside, forcing quarterbacks to scramble or throw under pressure, which increases turnovers and gives the offense more opportunities to score. This move could add roughly 160 more tackles across the team, boost tackles for loss from 65 to around 85, and elevate interior pressure similar to what Donald did for the Rams in 2022. And with Arroyo out due to injury, the Seahawks will need to generate even more turnovers. Wilkins' presence would help increase forced turnovers by an estimated 1-3 per game, giving Smith and the offense more chances to capitalize. It's the kind of upgrade that could push the Seahawks' Super Bowl odds from +600 to +450, according to BetMGM's latest projections. Especially against ground-heavy teams like San Francisco's 49ers and Christian McCaffrey, Wilkins' playoff experience, including his 4 TFLs in postseason games, makes him a potential difference maker. His ability to penetrate gaps and disrupt interior blocking schemes would be vital in high-stakes matchups. The timing couldn't be better for the Seahawks. Their defense has already shown signs of becoming a true wall, and adding Wilkins would be like putting the finishing touch on a championship puzzle. With the right pieces around him, including Peely and others, Wilkins could help Seattle turn their defense into a top-5 unit, capable of shutting down even the most potent offenses. The team's current trajectory suggests they're not just looking to make the playoffs. They're aiming for a deep run, possibly even a Super Bowl appearance. This move, if it happens, would signal the Seahawks' commitment to winning now and building for the future, combining veteran talent with young, emerging stars. Of course, there's always the question of how this impacts the team's chemistry and the locker room dynamics. But considering Wilkins' proven track record and leadership qualities, he seems like a perfect fit. Plus, with the Seahawks' defense already playing at a high level, bringing in a player of Wilkins' caliber would elevate everyone's game. It would also send a message across the league that Seattle is serious about contending, not just for a playoff spot, but for the ultimate prize, the Super Bowl. Now, fans, imagine the energy if this move goes through. Wilkins lining up next to Peely, creating chaos for opposing offenses and transforming the Seahawks' defense into a relentless force. It's exactly the kind of upgrade that could make all the difference in tight playoff games. And let's not forget, the Seahawks' front office has shown a willingness to make bold moves when it counts. They've been aggressive in building this roster, and acquiring Wilkins would be another statement that they're all in this season. So, as we watch the rumors swirl and wait for official confirmation, keep your fingers crossed. This could be the move that redefines the Seahawks' defensive identity and catapults them to new heights. With Wilkins in the fold, the NFC West, already a tough division, might have a new king emerging, and it could be Seattle ready to take its rightful place at the top. The potential is there, and the excitement is building. Keep your eyes peeled, Seahawks fans, because big things are happening, and this season might just be the one where everything clicks. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you think Wilkins would be the perfect piece to complete Seattle's defensive puzzle? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seahawks. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seattle Seahawks news. This is a team on the rise, and with moves like this, the future looks brighter than ever. Let's go, Seahawks.